let's see how to form and use modal verbs in German language. Modal verbs are a special group of verbs. They are modal or auxiliary verbs, which means that they cannot stand without another verb. Okay, so they require the second verb and they cannot stand alone. They are all in German language irregular in singular forms, and in plural forms they are regular. So let's see the present of modal verbs in German. The first one is können, which would mean can. Okay, so to be able or to do something. So ich kann, du kannst, er, sie, es kann. Okay, so these are singular forms. Let's see. First and third person singular are always the same when it comes to modal verbs in German language. And in the second person singular, we add the ending st, but still, the stem is irregular. So you have to memorize the singular forms. Plural is luckily regular, which means that you add the endings which you generally add to regular verbs in present. So it would be wir können, ihr könnt und sie können. So you see, it's the same en as with regular verbs in present. Just pay attention to memorize the singular one. Okay, next one is müssen, which means must. Okay, it goes like this. Ich muss, du musst, er, sie, es muss. Again, the first and third are the same. The second one has st, or in this case just t, because of there are already two letters of s, and there is no umlaut. Okay, we don't say ich muss, we just say ich muss. Okay, and plural forms are regular, so wir müssen, ihr müsst und sie müssen. Okay, next one is sollen, so should. Ich soll, du sollst, er, sie, es soll. Okay, so this is a simple one, I would say. Basically just the stem. The first and third are the same, and plural would be wir sollen, ihr sollt und sie sollen. Okay. Then dürfen would be allowed to do something. So permission. Ich darf, du darfst, er, sie, es darf. So the first and third are the same. Okay, wir dürfen, ihr dürft und sie dürfen. Plural is the same. Okay, then there is the verb mögen, which would mean to like. Ich mag, du magst, er, sie, es mag, wir mögen, ihr mögt und sie mögen. Okay, so here it changes like totally in singular. First and third are the same. Here there is st ending and plural is the same. Okay, and let me see. and wollen, which would mean to want. It goes like ich will, du willst, sie es will, wir wollen, ihr wollt und sie wollen. Okay, so will, willst, will, wollen, wollt, wollen. Now let's see. Okay, now let's see how we can use these verbs. Okay, so modal verbs in German language occupy the second position in a sentence. And the other verb, remember, they always require the second verb, and that other verb is always at the end in infinitive form. So the second verb is always at the end of the sentence, always. And it occupies, so the last position in the sentence, and it stands in infinitive form. So you don't change this other verb depending on a person. You change the modal verb, but not infinitive one. Okay, let's see how that can be used in a whole sentence. For example, Mark kann sehr gut schwimmen. Schwimmen. Okay, so Mark can swim very well. Mark can swim very well. So let's see. Mark is the third person singular. Right? And können for the third person singular is kann. So you change the modal verb so that it agrees with the subject. In this case, with Mark. And then at the end of the sentence, so the sentence can be, as large as you imagine. So at the end, you put the infinitive verb. Okay, we don't say schwimmt. No. So Mark kann sehr gut schwimmen. Oder zum Beispiel, du darfst hier nicht rauchen. Okay? You're not allowed to smoke here. So, again, modal verb occupies the second position, and ending is st because of the subject do, and then at the end of the sentence there is the second verb, rauchen, which means smoke. That's how you use it. When it comes to questions, you just need the inversion, which means that modal verb occupies the first place. So, kannst du schwimmen? Basically, everything is the same. Like you don't change the other verb. It's at the end of the question. The only thing you do is that you use the inversion. Okay? Oder darf ich hier rauchen? Okay? Oder when you have the question words, for example, was kann ich hier machen? What can I do here? What can I do here? Okay, so just the question word goes first and then the inversion. At the end is the verb in the infinitive form. That's how you use modal verbs in the present.